Yo, I'm an addict, addicted to being savage. My life is a little graphic, like HBO making magic. I'm rapping to make that passive money coming from traffic. Doing mental gymnastics, I'm fluid and problematic. You losing if you come at me the wrong way. I've come a long way from sipping on Bombay. It's 1942 now, in this loud mouth, sipping hard in the back of a booth, sold out. I can never get enough. Success is like a drug. The money come in, but then I want more stuff. So I gotta work hard, play harder, gotta work smarter. Time is money, yeah, money is harder. So I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I was born in this world, I swear, to make a difference. If you need a mentor, I got something for you, kid. Just watch the way I move and try your best to copy it. Like a CEO, I move like an athlete pro.
Welcome to episode 6 of the Walk Off Grand Slam podcast. I'm your host, Moneymaker Chris, and we're back for another Grand Slam feature on this week's episode, talking about one of my all-time favorite baseball players, the legendary Cal Ripken Jr. Growing up in the D.C. area, for the longest time, we didn't have a baseball team. The Nationals didn't come to town until 2005. So if you grew up in the area, you were an Orioles fan. They were played in Baltimore, so that was the closest team. So I grew up cheering for the Orioles, going to Orioles games, going to Camden Yards. And Cal Ripken was the guy. I mean, one of the classiest guys you'll ever meet, one of the nicest guys you ever meet. Obviously, I never met him. I would love to have met him, would still love to meet him. But yeah, Cal Ripken is just class personified. When you think of like classy athletes in sports, you think like, Steph Curry, you think of like a Darryl Green in football. I mean, so many guys you could think of, but it's just pure class personified. And Cal Ripken is definitely one of those guys. I remember Skip Bayless said this one time. I think it was First Take or whatnot. One of those shows he was on. And he's talking about Cal Ripken. He thought Cal Ripken was a little overrated. I was like, really? Like, come on, Skip. Sound like Shannon. Skip, come on, Skip. But yeah, I don't know why. I can't remember exactly why he said that, but he said a little overrated. I'm like, wow. Like, that's the first time I'd heard anybody say anything kind of negative about Ripken, because most everybody loves Cal Ripken. I mean, what's not to love? He's one of the all-time great baseball players. And let's see, known as the Iron Man for his, consecutive game streak, which I'll get into a little bit later. He is from the area. He's from Maryland, Harvard Dean Grace, Maryland. Born August 24th, 1960. So he's got a birthday coming up. He's 65 now. So he's about to turn 66 coming up here soon. Made his MLB debut August 10th, 1981 for the Baltimore Orioles, and played his last game October 2001 for the Baltimore Orioles. I was actually at that game. I got to say I was at Cal Ripken's very, very last game on October 6th, 2001. Played the Boston Red Sox. They lost that game 5-1. There was an attendance of 48,807 people there at that game. And it was very emotional. I still have the ticket from that game. I have a little poster and everything, and I have a little lanyard thing that I had from that game. Definitely great item to have in my collection. I love to collect stuff, whether it's sports memorabilia, wrestling memorabilia, but that's definitely some of the best stuff I have in my collection from that final game. Let's see. At bats, Ripken batted in the starting lineup as the third baseman and went hitless in 4 at-bats, flying out to center field in his final career plate appearance in the 8th innings. Pre-game festivities featured an extensive tribute celebrating his historic career, and he gave an emotional farewell speech to the home crowd after the final. Because I remember one of the things he said was, how would he like to be remembered? And he was saying, just to be remembered at all is a true honor. And I mean, just like I say, just class personified. I know they tried to get him one more at bat. I mean, I think Brady Anderson was up at the plate and Cal Ripken was on deck. And I think Brady struck, if I'm remembering correctly, Brady struck out and Cal didn't get that get to come to the plate at least one more time. But yeah, that was a very good experience. I got this. two legends. I got to be at Cal Ripken's last game, and I got to be at Darryl Green's last game for the Redskins when they played the Cowboys. This was like early two. Let me look it up. When was Darryl Green's last game? If I got to be there too. I'm another legend in the DC area. If you grew up a Redskins fan, you definitely love Darryl Green. I mean, he's like I said, the fastest man and just one of the guys that's just pure class personified. Let's see. I'm gonna look it up here, see if I can pull it up here. But yeah, I got to be at his last game. His last game was it was in 2002. Let's see. And I know they played the Cowboys last game. Yeah, I remember they played the Cowboys at home, obviously. It was at FedEx Field. And I remember he went back and did a punt either the kickoff return or a punt return. But I think it was a punt return. They had him out there. I guess they said, "Hey, it's the last game. Hey, why not? Let's give him a chance to return the kick one more time." Let's see. Darryl Green's last game. Let's see. Flashback. Got the pictures and stuff here, but they don't. They're showing the return, walking off the field. Yeah, what was the score of that game? I know you played the Cowboys. I remember that specifically. Let's see. Do I have it here? Let's see. And here's another one too, very much like Cal Ripken, who spent his whole career with one team. He played his whole career with the Redskins, and Cal Ripken played his whole career with the Orioles. And that's so rare nowadays because, guys in all sports, football, basketball, baseball, are switching teams all of the time. Here we go. Dale Green played his final NFL game on December 29th, 2002, including a legendary 20-year career entirely spent with the Washington Redskins against the Cowboys. They won that game 20-14. Emotional season finale marked the end of Green's illustrious career, in which he played a franchise record 295 games, won 2 Super Bowls, and cemented his status as one of the greatest cornerbacks in NFL history before being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I know they played the Cowboys. I know it was the last game of the regular season, and yeah, I know they won. She had 20-14. So got to be, like I said, I got to be at Darryl Green's last game, got to be at Cal Ripken's last game. I mean, hey, it doesn't get much better than that. Now back to Cal Ripken, he has a career batting average of 276, 3,184 hits, 431 home runs, 1,695 RBIs. Like I said, he played his whole career with the Orioles. 19-time All-Star, won a World Series in 1983, two-time AL MVP in 1983 and 91, AL Rookie of the Year in 1982, two-time Gold Glove winner in 91 and 1992, eight-time Silver Slug Award winner from 1983 to 1986, 1989, 91, 93, 94, won the Berto Clemente Award, 92, MLB record 2,632 consecutive games, Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award. The Orioles retired as number 8, and of course he's in the Orioles Hall of Fame, and he's in the MLB Hall of Fame when they're there in 2007. And the streak. I mean, that's probably one of the things he's probably known for the most is the streak. Says Cal Ripken played in 2,632 consecutive games for the Baltimore Orioles. His historic streak ran from May 30th, 1982 to September 19th, 1998. I mean, just think about that. Playing in 2,632 consecutive games. I mean, from the 80s all the way into the late 90s. That's insane. That is crazy. Especially nowadays, when you see guys, especially in the NBA, they do all this load management stuff, like guys, football and basketball get hurt all the time. I'm sure there's some of those time periods he had to not be 100%. I'm sure he had to be tired, maybe sick, but to push through and to play in 2,632 consecutive games is absolutely insane. That they talk about records being broken. That's one record that I do not see anybody breaking ever because it's just a different game, different time period, and everything. And I just don't see anybody breaking that record. That's one of those unbreakable records. You saw the scoring record in the NBA. LeBron broke that. You've seen other, the home run record. Hank Aaron had for all those years. Barry Bonds broke that. You see a variety of records being broken all the time, but this is one that I do not see, at least not in my lifetime. I don't see that happen. And of course, the legendary game on September 6th, 1995, he broke Lou Gehrig's consecutive games record by playing in his 2,131st straight game, earned the title of baseball's ultimate Iron Man. And I remember, I'll remember that game because I didn't even watch it on TV. I remember listening to the radio, sitting here in the room and just listening on the radio, and then later on seeing like highlights and stuff of him taking a lap around the stadium and everything, and the scoreboard, switching to 2,131 because New Gary played in 2,130 consecutive games. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Yeah, 56-year-old record. That record stood for 56 years. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, like I say, he began it in 1982, broke the record in 95, and then the streak ended in 1998, September 19th, 1998. Ripken voluntarily set out of a game against the New York Yankees, bringing his final streak to an end at 2,632 games. And yeah, he did it on his own. He did it on his own. And I want to say Ryan Miner, who was on the team, took his spot during the time period. I wanna say it was Ryan Miner that took his spot. I wanna say it was Ryan Miner. Let's see. Let's see. That name just sounds just so familiar. Let's see. Yes, hold on, let's see. He was the player that started this. Yeah, he was the player that started yep, got it right. Yeah, he was the guy that started in place of Calvin with the end the Iron Man streak. And that's cool that he was able to do it on his own, in his own terms. He didn't have to do it because of, like, injury or anything like that, or like, any other reason that, other than his own, or like coach's decision or something like that, manager's decision or something like that, or front office decision. It was all on his own. He said, "Hey, I've done enough." And hey, I mean, like I said, that's a record that will not be broken at all. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, you earned it nickname the Iron Man. He is definitely the Iron Man, the Tony Starks of baseball. That would make for a good bobblehead. Like a lot of these teams, especially the Nationals, give out bobbleheads and stuff like that. They give out little figurines and stuff. A Cal Ripken Iron Man bobblehead. I don't know if they could do it because of like Marvel stuff, like copyright, issues or anything like that. But if they could some kind of way partner with Marvel and get that approved, that would be a seller. That would be. I mean, they did a Tupac bobblehead this year. Cause I was wondering like, why did they do a Tupac bobblehead? He's like L.A. He's not Baltimore. But I forgot he went to school and everything in Baltimore and kind of got his start there, doing the performing art schools there. So I said, yeah, that does make sense. That definitely makes sense. But yeah, if they can do a Kyle Ripken Iron Man bobblehead, that would be pretty cool. That would be freaking cool. That would definitely be a one worth having in the collection. A lot of people said they credit Cal Ripken for saving baseball. They said many fans and historians credit Ripken's pursuit in breaking up the record with helping to restore public faith and excitement in Major League Baseball following the damaging 94-95 strike. Yeah, that strike was pretty damaging at the time, and that streak kind of gave hope and gave something positive to kind of have fans and stuff kind of get back into the game once again because Cal was so beloved and breaking this like 56-year or long record is something that's kind of got people back and enjoying baseball once again. That and of course I know a lot of people have their feelings about it now, but the whole home run chase with McGuire and Sosa the summer of '98, that was a big thing too. But I think even more so this Cal Ripken thing. People probably remember that more so now, especially about the whole steroids and all that different stuff when it came to McGuire and Sosa. But they actually did a 30 for 30 on. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, definitely check that out. But yeah, the Cal Ripken breaking that streak was definitely a milestone for sure. And he used to always sign. I never got a chance to get an autograph. I know a lot of times before games, he would come out there and sign autographs for a good 15, 20 minutes, just signing autographs. I never got there early enough to get an autograph. That would have been nice. That would have been pretty cool. But he cool dude always used to do that. Another memorable moment. I mean, he's had so many memorable moments. Like I say, he's part of the 400 home run club. He joined the 3,000 hit club. I remember both those games very vividly when he broke those, or not broke those records, but uh, joined those exclusive clubs, the 3,000 hit club, the 400 home run club. But his last appearance in the MLB All Star game was in 2001. Cal Ripken's last All-Star game in 2001, played July 10th, 2001 at Safeco Field in Seattle. He had a memorable home run in that game, hit a home run in that game, and won MVP in his 19th and final Midsummer Classic appearance. Also, the position switch, too, that's another thing. Alex Rodriguez insisted that Ripken started shortstop because he played a majority of his career at shortstop. He's kind of helped make that position kind of what it is today, like him and Alex Rodriguez, the Nomar Garcia Parras, Manny Machado's, all those, kind of made the shortstop position like a premium position. He eventually moved to third base, like he kind of ended his career playing third base. But yeah, I remember Alex Rodriguez, pushing him out there. And then Cal didn't want to do it. Cal did not want to go out there and not play third base. Well, obviously he was playing third base, but he didn't want to go out there and play shortstop. And Joe Torre was the manager at the time. He insisted, like, go. Like, hey, you're getting a direct instructions from the manager here. And Roger Clemens was pitching at the time, and he said, "Hey, you telling him, hey, you better be 3 up, 3 down. Hey, you get 3 straight strikeouts." Yeah, he went out there reluctantly, but he did go out there and play shortstop. Like I said, he hit that home run and won the MVP. I mean, what a moment. What a moment. Went out there playing shortstop. He hits a home run in his first at bat and wins MVP in his final All-Star appearance. I mean, hey, it doesn't get much better than that. It does not get much better than that for the Iron Man himself. Of course, he had his brother, Billy Ripken, and his dad, Cal Ripken Sr., who was the manager at his manager? Yeah, he's the manager. Cal Ripken Sr. was the manager. Let's see. He managed the Orioles. Yeah, that's the only thing he managed. 1985, 1987, and 1988, and he was a coach 1976 to 1986, then 89 to 92. And was on that team that won the World Series. So, yeah, he was a manager, and of course, let's see. He played in the Orioles farm system. He played too. He played in the Orioles farm system beginning in 1957 and later served as coach and manager of the parent club in which his sons Scott Ripken and Billy Ripken played for. I mean, hey, that's pretty cool. That's kind of like Shador Sanders at Colorado. Dion getting to coach him, getting to be coached and managed by your father. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And of course, the Griffeys, Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. playing together in Seattle, and of course LeBron and Bronny and the NBA playing together. I mean, the father and son duos is just that's a beautiful thing to see. I mean, you truly watch sports, stick around long enough to see, the kids of these, famous athletes playing is just unbelievable. It's just wild. Like, you grew up watching their dads playing, and all of a sudden now the kids are playing. And then just like in wrestling too, you got, of course, the legendary Ric Flair, Charlotte Flair. She's wrestling, one of the all-time greats, 14-time world champion, dad's 16-time world champion. American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, of course, Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes. Dustin's in AEW, of course, he was Goldust in WWE. He's just Dustin Rhodes or Dustin Reynolds in AEW, keeping that lineage along the way. The Hart family, the Guerrero family, the Funk family. Dory Funk just recently passed. Rest in peace to him. But it's definitely you see it in sports a lot, definitely, and a lot in wrestling too. You've seen these second and third generation superstars with The Rock, the Bloodline. I mean, that family is huge. We just saw Zilla Fatu debut today on NXT, another part of the Bloodline. So it's very common in sports to see, families, fathers, sons, daughters, all participating in sports. There's gotta be a lot of pressure too. I mean, living up to some of these big names, living up to like a Cal Ripken or living up to Bron James. When you're their kid, a lot of pressure is on you. They cast a big shadow. They definitely do. They definitely do. And let's see here. The video game. I had no idea that I knew she was on the cover of MLB 99 because I had that game and played that game on the original PlayStation. That game came out in, let's see, April 14th, 1998. See, MLB 99 is a 98 baseball video game developed by Sony Interactive Studios America and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the PlayStation. David Campbell provided color commentary while Vince Scully is the play-by-play announcer. Baltimore Orioles third baseman Cal Ripken is the feature covered after. I mean, had Vince Scully. I mean, you got the legendary Vince Scully, the voice of the Dodgers, as a commentary. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. It really doesn't get much better than that. The installment of the series introduces the spring training mode in addition to incumbent exhibition season playoff home run derby, which is always one of my favorite things to do in a baseball game is to do the home run derby. But yeah, there was a game on the Nintendo. I had no idea about this one. It says Cal Ripken Baseball is a sports video game released in 1992 by Mindscape for the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It was a port of TV sports baseball for home computer. So it was just a computer game that they turned into a regular like Super Nintendo Sega game. Came out June 1993. Well, I was in Europe. That's when it came out, and in '92 here in the US. So due to lack of licenses from Major League Baseball, the game featured no MLB team names, stadiums, or artwork, and Cal Ripken himself is the only non-fictional player in the game. Oh wow! Oh wow! So I didn't even have a license to get like the actual team names and stuff like that. Yeah, because on the cover of the game, it has his picture and everything on there, and it just has a jersey on with number 8. It doesn't say Orioles or anything like that. Oh wow! Interesting. Yeah, I had no idea. Exhibition allows for single player versus computer, two-player against each other on an entirely computer simulated game can be watched. In league mode, there are 16 teams included, including the player selected team. If the players is the first place at the end of the league, they will enter the playoffs. Interesting. Yeah, I had no idea about this game. 'Cause I was looking up the MLB because I knew he was on the cover of the MLB 99 game, but I had no idea that he had his own separate game that was kinda dedicated to him. That's pretty freaking cool. That's pretty awesome. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. But yeah, I think that's all the stuff for Cal Ripken. Like I say, the Iron Man nickname, of course, he was MVP, World Series champion, Hall of Fame. Yeah, considered one of the best shortstops in baseball history at 6'4". You know how tall Cal Ripken was? 6'4". 225 pounds. He pioneered the way for the success of tall and large shortstop. He holds the record for the most home runs hit as a shortstop at 345, breaking the record 298 held by Ernie Banks. Oh, okay. So he has the all-time record for home runs for a shortstop. And that's pretty big. I mean, 6'4", 225. That's pretty good. pretty good size. I mean, you looked at Ripken, he didn't look like a teeny guy by any stretch. He didn't look at him like 6'4". That's pretty tall. That's pretty tall for baseball. That's pretty tall for baseball. That's shoot 6'4". That could be like a shooting guard in the NBA. Shooting guard, maybe small forward-ish type of player, but yeah, 6'4" is pretty tall. I think he liked basketball too, and maybe I think he I don't know if he played basketball, like, in college or anything like that, but I know he was a basketball fan. Let's see, Ripken is the best-selling author and the president and CEO of Ripken Baseball Inc., whose goal is to extend the love of baseball from a grassroots level. That's nice. He says his retirement, he has purchased 3 minor league baseball teams and a majority stake with the Orioles. I forgot, yeah, now that they got new ownership, he has, some stake with them, but I had no idea about him owning 3 minor league teams. That's pretty cool. He has been active in charity work throughout his career and is still considered an ambassador of the game. He lives in Annapolis, Maryland, is married to Laura Ripken. Oh, that's pretty cool. Lives in Annapolis. Hey, next time I go out to Annapolis, hey, I might see Cal Ripken out there. That's pretty cool. On his son, yeah, his son, Ryan Ripken was also a baseball player, was drafted by the Orioles in 20th round of Major League Baseball 2012 amateur draft. He chose to attend college instead of beginning his first year at the University of South Carolina in 2012. He transferred to Indiana River Community College and was drafted 15th round of the Major League Baseball 2014 amateur draft by the Nationals. Being released by the Nationals in March 2017, he signed with the Orioles and was signed to Aberdeen Ironbirds, where it's owned by his father. Oh, that's one of the teams his father owns, the Aberdeen Ironbirds. Okay. He played at a stadium that carried the family's name. He advanced as high as Triple A Norfolk Tides in 2021, but after going unsigned throughout the following season, he announced his retirement from baseball. In 2026, Ryan became a sports broadcaster for Madison Sports. Okay, cool. I think he's got a podcast too. 'Cause I've seen him interviewing some people too, so he does a podcast as well. So hey, maybe he figured that was the route to go. Maybe hey, I can't make it to the majors or anything like that, like like my dad, but I can at least work for Madison and cover and talk baseball, do my podcast. I say it on my wrestling podcast all the time. If the in-ring work for wrestling isn't things for you, there's so many roles in wrestling, whether you're a commentary, referee, backstage correspondent, photographer, production side of wrestling. There's so many different roles in wrestling. There's roles in baseball too. You have a front office role, behind the scenes role, work for one of these networks covering the game. There's so many roles. You could be a coach, like I say, if the actual playing side of baseball doesn't work for you, you could definitely find a role in the game. No doubt about that. Let's see. He's written and co-written 17 books and contributed forwards to numerous others. After the 96 season, he released an autobiography titled The Only Way I Know, co-written by Mike Bryan. Oh, nice. So you got some books and stuff out there too. Man's an author. That's all right. Like I say, he owned several minor league teams. In 2002, he purchased the Utica Blue Sox of the New York Penn League. Okay. Oh, he expressed, it said January 10th, 2007, he expressed interest in purchasing the Baltimore Orioles. His current owner, the Angels, were to sell the team. He had yet to be approached as of 2013 about the potential purchase of the team, though he had not purchased them. Ripken was quoted in July 17th, 2010 by Associated Press office saying he would consider rejoining Orioles part-time as an advisor and full-time after his son graduated from high school. He worked as a studio analyst for TBS Sports during the 2007 Major League Baseball playoffs and continued to serve the role in 2013. So he did some TV work as well. Oh, he sold one of his teams, the Augustine Green Jackets, to the Aragon Sports and Entertainment. and he sold another Charlotte Stone crab to the Caribbean baseball league, the little sit by Lou Schweimer. Ripken Experience is a group of sports complexes. They first opened in Aberdeen, Maryland. The second location with 9 baseball fields located in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Okay, there you go. So giving back to the game. You gotta love that. Like I said, class act, class act. And yeah, like I said, they also part of like the ownership group with this new ownership group for the what's the Nationals Orioles. John P. Angelos reached the 1.725 billion deal to sell the Orioles to a group led by David Rubenstein. The group included Ripken, Michael Bloomberg, former Baltimore Mayor Kirk Skirmoke, and New York investment manager Michael Garati, and NBA legend Grant Hill. It was not made clear how large Ripken's stake will be or what sort of role he will have. This could be something kind of like Magic Johnson with the Commanders. You may not have a huge, huge role, but still, I mean, hey, you send Magic Johnson out to like food and to like be like an ambassador for your team. It doesn't get much better than that. You can do the same thing with Cal Ripken. I mean, you see a Cal Ripken coming on behalf of the team or Magic Johnson on behalf of a team. You definitely, those guys are going to earn instant respect. I mean, those are two legends in the game. So, hey, whatever role they have, they're going to serve and do it well. But yeah, that's Cal Ripken, ladies and gentlemen. For the people out there, if you didn't see Cal Ripken when he was playing, I'd highly recommend you go into YouTube, type in Cal Ripken Jr. and check him out. Great player, great shortstop, classy on and off the field, one of the all-time greats. And it's hard not to like Cal Ripken. Like I said, other than Skip Bayless saying, no, he was a little overrated, I haven't heard anybody say a bad word about Cal Ripken. People love the Iron Man. He is class personified. So definitely check him out for sure. And as I always do to close out the show, like I did on the original Grand Slam podcast, and I'm carrying over to the new Walk Off Grand Slam podcast, the rebooted version of the podcast. We're gonna go over the current standings. But like I said, we're down to the nitty gritty. Got about another month or so to go. We're gonna see who the real contenders and pretenders are in Major League Baseball. Let's start with the AL East. Tampa Bay is on top at 73 and 46, followed by the Yankees at 67 and 52, Boston 64 and 55, Orioles 58 and 62, and Toronto 58 and 63. Tampa's division right now, the Yankees are 6 game back. Boston, they've been playing a lot better as of late. They're 9 games back. Orioles, I don't know what's going on with the Orioles. They traded Ollie Westman to the Red Sox. Injuries, I mean, I've said it on here before. I mean, the Orioles, great organization. Of course, like I said, just talk about Cal Ripken, one of the all-time greats. I think they're still in a position for a wild card spot, but I mean, it's just crazy here with the Orioles. Like, they seem like they were one of those teams that was on the rise and was really gonna start taking off and like being a legitimate contender. Like I said, this is a tough division, but they have fallen, and it's sad. It's really sad to see one of the historic franchises struggle the way they have after, like, seemed like they had finally turned things around after the rebuild. Over to the AL Central, got the White Sox 61 and 57, followed by Detroit 59 and 60, Twins 59 and 62, Cleveland 58 and 62, and Royals at 49 and 72. It's gonna be very interesting. I mean, the White Sox got the lead right now, but Detroit's only 2.5 games back. They traded Skubal to the Dodgers. The rich get richer, and Minnesota's only 3.5 games kept. Cleveland's 4 games back. This could be a 4-team race here in the Central right now. It's anybody's ball game right now. Anybody's ball game. The White Sox have only 4-6 in their last 10 games, while Detroit's 8-2, Minnesota's 3-7, Cleveland's 2-8, and Kansas City's 3-7. They're out of it anyway. But yeah, the Central's gonna be very interesting to see who comes out on top. I'd like to see the White Sox too, because they've been bad the last several years. It'd be nice to see them kind of get out of the bottom of the division and get into the postseason once again. Over to the AL West, you got Houston on top at 61-60, followed by Rangers at 60-60, Seattle's 56-64, the Athletics 47-73, and Angels at 46-74. Mike Trout, you gotta get out of LA. You gotta get out. You've done well by that city, but you deserve to be in a much better spot. He seemed to be healthy this year. He's having a solid season. Let me see if I can pull up his numbers here. 'Cause one of the things we talked about on the original Grandstand podcast a lot was about, like, Mike Trout, he's, great player, but he's just, the injury bug is just, like, killing him. I mean, he's batting, .235 on a great batting average with 20 home runs, 42 RBIs, 85 hits. Not bad. I mean, not the greatest average, but hey, he seems to be healthy, and that's the most important thing. Because, like I said, guy that's been, like, plagued by injuries, like, the last several seasons. Let's see, over to the NL East, got the Braves on top of 74-48, Phillies on that right after them at 64-57, Marlins at 61-59, my Nationals 59-62, and the Mets at 53-68. It's not just the Braves division to lose. Phillies are 8.5 game back. Marlins, I mean, hey, not too bad. Not 61-59. That's respectable. Nationals, they're making some moves and everything. Hey, they've exceeded expectations this year. Regardless of what happens with the Nationals, they definitely got something they can build upon. They made some trades, they got some pitching, they lost some guys, they lost Luis Garcia. Um, but hey, they got some good pitching prospects in the back, or they definitely needed some pitching for sure. So hopefully any of those guys can pan out for them. Let's see. Over on the central side, you got the Milwaukee Bucks. No, Milwaukee Bucks. Oh my goodness. Milwaukee Brewers at 74-46, followed by the Cubs at 70-50. Then you got the Cardinals at 60-60. Pussy's Reds at 57-61, and the Pirates at 58-63. School Bulls got to get out of there. You got to get out of there from Pittsburgh. Like, not getting it done. Not getting it done. Or Schemes. I'm sorry. It's Paul Schemes. The schools that Dodgers shoot the Dodgers. Paul Schemes got to get out of there. They have to get out of there. Right now, this is Milwaukee division. The Cubs are right there, but it's going to come down to one of those two teams. I feel it's going to come down to either Cubbies or Milwaukee. Last but not least, the NL West. You got the Dodgers on top at 72-48, followed by Arizona at 64-57, Padres 64-57, Giants at 50-70, and Rockies at 47-73. Dodgers, this is their division to win. The Arizona's 8.5 games back, as well as the Padres. Even though they've been struggling, they're 3-7 in the last 10 games. The Arizona's 5-5. Padres are 7-3. But yeah, this is the Dodgers division right now. They're pretty much got this division on lock. And for the wild card race on the AL side, you got, let's see, the Yankees, Red Sox, and Texas Rangers all right there in position for the wild card spots. O's, Guardians, Twins, Tigers, Toronto. I mean, the AL, they talk about how bad the AL is. They're all kind of all in the mix there. So it's going to be curious to see how this division, while all this time this wild card race plays out. And over on the National League side, you got the Cubbies, Arizona, and the Padres in the 3 wild card spots now. Then you got Philly, Miami, St. Louis, my Nationals, Chrissy's Reds, all in the mix for potential wild card spots. Like I say, we got about another month to go in the season, and it's gonna be postseason time. It's time for the playoffs. Like, so we'll see the real contenders and pretenders who really wants it. I hope we get a good World Series like we did last year. Like last year's World Series was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Toronto Dodgers went all the way to 7 games. It was like back and forth, back and forth. It was competitive. You were on the edge of your seat. That's one of the best World Series I've seen in a long time. But that is all for me. Once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Let me do some plugs here. Follow us over on Twitter at WalkOff underscore podcast. That's walk off underscore podcast over on Twitter. Instagram and Threads is the Walk Off Grand Slam podcast. Let me just double check, make sure I'm getting that correct. Yeah, Walk Off Grand Slam podcast for Instagram and Threads. And also subscribe to the show, Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, on Spotify, iHeartRadio. Look for the Walk Off Grand Slam podcast with that navy, red, white, and blue logo. Look it up. If you need the links, definitely hit me up. I will happily send you the links. And also, you go on the website, there's the links as well. And on that website, we are Grand Slam Walk Off at alitu.com is the website. That's Grand Slam Walk Off at alitu, ALITU.com on the website. All the links are up there for that. Also, 3 and Out Renaissance podcast, new episodes dropping. One's dropping on Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we dropping episodes, especially once the season gets started. So on IG at 3 and Out Renaissance Podcast, there in Threads, and on Twitter, we are at Era. Let me see. I changed all the socials, so I just always double check. Yeah, new 3 and Out Era on Twitter. That's new 3 and Out Era on Twitter. Also, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music. Same for Walk Off Grand Slam as well. On all of those platforms. Support the show, subscribe to the show on there. And the website for the 3 and Out is 3 and Out Renaissance Podcast at alitu.com. That's 3 and Out Renaissance Podcast at alitu, ALITU.com. And like I said, all the links are on the Twitter and Instagram account. So definitely support that podcast. Also, TMC podcast, where I do all my wrestling interviews. I've already broken my record of last year. I did 77 episodes last year. I'm already up to about 80 now. I mean, I haven't been released yet. They're definitely coming, but what I've recorded and done so far, I'm up to 80 episodes, more interviews. I did 69 last year. I'm over 70 so far this year. Finally hit 1,000 followers. Appreciate you all for that. We're all over social media. TMC Podcast 1, Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, 3 and Out Podcast 1, and over on Spotify, Apple Podcast, TMC Podcast, on the website, www.tmc-podcast.com. So definitely support me on that platform as well. But that is all from me. You guys take care. Be safe as always. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Peace.
I want it like a